The second dream that I'm going to talk to you about is even hotter than the first one. And I know the first one was pretty hot. Bobby Darin as a vampire. That's okay. But the second dream that I'm going to talk about is the sexiest dream that I have ever had in my entire life. The second dream opens with me and Kevin Spacey. Yeah, I know. Kevin Spacey. So this dream started off good. Starts off with me and Kevin Spacey at this white table in the middle of, I guess, his living room. And we are alphabetically sorting through Bobby Darin records and organizing them and putting them into different boxes so we can put them on these shelves over to the left. So we're organizing Bobby Darin records, and I turn to him and I'm like, Kevin, I'm thirsty. Could you please go and get me a glass of orange juice? So he said, okay. And by the way, Kevin Spacey was wearing his yellow suit that he's wearing when he sings the song Beyond the Sea in the movie Beyond the Sea. And I've not mentioned this before, but Kevin Spacey in that yellow suit, oh yeah, it's like my favorite thing. And he was in his yellow suit. So he's going to get me some orange juice. And all of a sudden, Bobby Darin walks into the room. And this is when I'm thinking, I'm laying there thinking, wow, this is going to be the best dream I've ever had no matter what happens. But it gets better. Bobby Darin walks in, and I'm like, Bobby, will you help me organize these records? And he just looks at me for the longest time. He's this these sexy bedroom eyes. And then he just pushes all the records off the table, and he picks me up, and he throws me on the table, and he's on top of me kissing me, and I'm like, hey, this is pretty sweet. So he's kissing me, and we're making out crazily on this table. All the records in the floor, we just didn't even care about those anymore. And Kevin Spacey walks in, and all of a sudden everything stops. Me and Bobby just look up. He's holding the glass of orange juice with his mouth just, to the floor, And I'm thinking, oh great, now we're gonna have to quit making out. He drops the glass of orange juice, and he rushes over there, and I stand up, and I got Kevin in front of me and Bobby behind me, and they're kissing me everywhere. Bobby's kissing my neck, and Kevin's kissing my lips, and I'm like, oh yeah, this dream's about to get good on a whole nother level. And so we're kissing, and we're ripping at each other's clothes, and then I woke up. Now that I've shared with you one of the coolest dreams that I've ever had, and one of the sexiest dreams that I've ever had, it's time to talk about the most frightening dream that I ever had. It started with me getting up in my own house at the time, which was a trailer, and going to the kitchen to get a glass of water. Now, the way that the kitchen was set up, the bedrooms were in the back in the hallway. You came out of the hallway, there was the kitchen, which went like this all the way around, and then out of the kitchen was the living room. So the living room was sort of connected to the kitchen, and there was this island separating both the kitchen and the living room. And up against the island in the living room was our rocking chair, one that we've had for 10 years. And I knew I was dreaming, but I didn't, because it seemed kind of real and kind of not, because it was just sort of a boring dream to start out with, just me getting up to get a glass of water. And as I came out of the hallway and looked out into the kitchen, I could see into the living room, of course, and I saw the rocking chair rocking back and forth. And I slowly approached it, and that's when I realized that there was someone sitting in the rocking chair. And I was starting to freak out now. And I slowly approached the rocking chair, getting slower the closer that I got to it. And the closer that I got, the more I realized that this person that was sitting in the rocking chair was a man. Because I could see that he was very tall. I could see the back of his head. And I walked to the back of the rocking chair and then walked around. And the man turned around and looked at me. And he was the most frightening looking man that I have ever seen. It was obvious that he had escaped from a mental institution because of the outfit he was wearing. And he had this crazy black spiked hair that was just all over the place. And he had this long and like thin nose that came way out. And he had wide, crazy black eyes. And he turned around and he looked at me. And he had this huge grin on his face from ear to ear. And I opened my mouth to scream, and nothing came out. And I shot out of bed, woke up, totally terrified. My heart was pounding and I was in a cold sweat. And I got up to get a glass of water, and when I came out into the living room, the rocking chair was empty, but it was rocking back and forth. And that one night, it was like 8 years ago, and it has haunted me ever since. It was probably one of the scariest things that I've ever had happen to me, which is good, but it was still very frightening, and I can still see that crazy guy's face sometimes, and it was the scariest dream that I ever had. Well, I hope that all of you enjoyed listening to my 3, what I feel are the most interesting dreams that I've had. But dreaming is a pretty amazing thing, and it will be interesting to hear what some of your dreams and nightmares are. So, thanks for watching, subscribe, and leave comments. Thank you for watching Sarah by the Fireside. And until next time, sweet dreams.